What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Josh Hero, and I know might be a tad bit early in doing this considering the fact that the Fall Off came out, like 2.5 weeks ago. I don't care.
We do not care.
Shut up. Hey, bro, we're going to be ranking J. Cole's best albums in my personal opinion. Alright? So, if you're up here thinking that the Revenge of the Dreamers are going to be included in my list, no. They're on here on the tier maker, but nah. Sorry, those are group projects. We're strictly doing J. Cole solo projects, right? So, when it comes to J. Cole, right, as you can see behind me, if I can move out the way correctly, you see I have the Fall Off, I have 2014, and above it I have the All Season. Massive J. Cole got here. Massive J. Cole got. My reaction and review of the Fall Off might not have been the most positive because I didn't absolutely dig it when it came out, but I like the project overall. I like 16 out of 24 tracks because I feel like as though it should have been 16,
not 24 songs.
And it's hard to just listen to in like one overall listen, but nonetheless, like the Fall Off. Now, when it comes to the earlier projects, when we get to, the come up and, warm up and all the other stuff. Look, y'all, when those projects came out, I was getting out of diapers. Like, I was 9 years old in 2009, or 8 years old in 2009, right? So, my attachment to J. Cole is not going to be as strong as, like, the 33-year-old or 34-year-old watching this video that grew up with J. Cole and was, like, 16 or 15 when the come up came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that. Like, my attachment to J. Cole is from 2013 and onward. So, with that being said, let's just jump right in because I might make some of y'all mad. But, hey, bro, this is my list. You feel me? And we're going to start off with the come up. Sorry. I don't know what y'all want me to say, bro. Like I said, I don't have attachment to a lot of these songs. I understand that these are like cult classics in J. Cole's fan base. You know what I'm saying? Right? They just, going back and, doing the research, really falling in love with J. Cole. They were always cool, but like, I never really fell in love with his earlier work, up until really Friday Night Lights, which I love Friday Night Lights, but I just, it just didn't do nothing for me. Like, I understand first project, cool, whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's some stuff on there, but for me personally, nah. Simba and Dead Presidents, right, for me are like, those are the ones, but everything else is just like, and with that, like I said, early Cole, just not like me. The warm-up has to be next here. It's another cool project. Like, let me make this clear. These aren't bad projects, right? They are mad long, right? If you look back at them, they're like an hour plus long, 23 songs. It just shows you the difference in the era now, right? And J. Cole likes making 3-minute, 4-minute songs. But the warm-up has always been cool, right? Never anything spectacular to me, right? It's just him rapping for like 17 songs, right? And that's when you really start to fall in love, with the rapper J. Cole, the storyteller J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that are happening. But for me, not really, a whole lot. But at number 10, though, we are going to put The Birthday Blizzard.
Yeah, this is okay.
I mean, it's alright, like,
it's nothing spectacular. I mean, this was the project before the Fall Off where he got to talk about the whole Kendrick and Drake beef. He got to talk about rap media as a whole, right? Kind of diss me, but also kind of diss podcasters, everybody that kind of like says like crazy outlandish things just to say things, right? Even though I don't really do that. Some of y'all swear I have bad takes. I don't think I ever have a bad take, but it's whatever.
facts! Facts!
But yeah, like, we had kind of already gotten that from him previously on the off season, and then he addressed the beef on Port Antonio, so this was kind of pointless, And it wasn't even like I'm getting ready to warm up for the Fall Off so y'all can get yourselves hyped, right? Because it's like, all right, cool, but it felt completely disconnected from the Fall Off. Like, it felt completely disconnected because the Fall Off wasn't a showcase of like super high tier rapping. There was really good rapping, but that's kind of what the off season was. The off season was like super high tier, great rapping, some of the best rapping he's ever done. This was just kind of just like 4 songs of rapping over old hip hop beats. I guess if you want to say it does fit into the Fall Off mode of, you know, this node and love letter to hip hop, then I respect that and I understand that. But I mean, I can't put it any higher than 10. Like, I cannot do that. Now, here is where some of y'all might get upset at me. Over time, I have grown to loathe this project. I've just grown to loathe this project. There are good songs on here, and I listened to it not too long ago, actually. I re-listened to it not too long ago. There are good songs on here, but there are songs that are just so incredibly boring to me, right? Like Kevin's Heart, I know was like one of the fan favorites when it first came out. That song, I cannot stand it no more. I'm sorry, bro. There are tracks on here that are good but don't age the best at all. Like ATM was a good song when I was in high school. I can't stand that song anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, and his whole thing of I'm gonna address the current state of hip hop by using modern beats, even though he is producing the beats themselves. And it's like, to me, that album sounded like what J.Cole thought 2017 hip hop sounded like. It sounded nothing like that J.Cole. Like it sounded like an old nigga thinking, oh, this is what the young cats do, so let me do this. No, like, dog, I'm sorry, bro. I no, seriously, bro. Because if you think about it from this perspective, Damn was already that in 2017. You then came around and did it again in 2018, but with worse production. Like, the story here was, oh, let me shit on the SoundCloud rappers. When Kendrick did it, it was a critique of the entire rap game and how he doesn't necessarily want to fall into those tropes. And how you, like, it was something deeper there. When you did it, it was like, oh, that's cool what K-Dot did. Let me do it, but let me do it from my perspective. And let me show y'all how I feel hip-hop sounds like nowadays. And look, the Lil Pump diss is facts. That aged pretty well. But other than that, dog, like, there are songs on here that I just absolutely cannot stand no more. There are good songs on here. Don't get me wrong. There are good songs, but there are songs on here that I just can't absolutely stand. It's still better than the last 3 projects that we just talked about, but I think he just fell short on the concept, though. I definitely do think he fell short on the concept. Now, at number 8, I'm going to go with his first album ever. These are where, like, the radio play hits come from, right? Other than that, though, it's cool, right? Like, it is cool, right? I love Workout, right? There are cool tracks on here. Some people might put this a lot lower. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't really like this project. You know, it's crazy. I think this project is cool because, again, I got introduced in Cole in 2013. So, like, my first initial album that I could actually listen to was this one, other than Born Sinner. So my attachment to it is a little bit different than everybody else's until I got around to Dat Piff and finding, you know, weird MP3 files on the internet and realizing, that's you know what I'm saying? So my affinity for this project is a little bit different than everybody else's, but at the end of the day, going back to it, it's like, it's alright. It is alright. You know what I'm saying? But the next project we're gonna put up here is Might Delete Later at number 7. Look, it is a good project. It is a good project. It maybe deserved the Grammy nom. I don't know. That's still debatable. I understand that it gets you can't talk about this project. Even the title in itself, you can't talk about this project without mentioning 7 Minute Drill. And that's the unfortunate part about this project. There are so many good tracks on here. Some of the best rapping we've heard from Cole, right? And even in some of the songs, it definitely does feel like he's subbing somebody. It was kind of weird. But you even title it Might Delete Later and then actually deleting the diss later, it ruins it. It leaves this weird taste in your mouth. And if that song never existed, this would possibly be a top 5 J. Cole project, period. Right? But because that song existed, you gotta knock it. You have to. You have to. Like, I love Trader Truth, Diddy Beezy. I love Sticks and Stones. You know what I'm saying? I love Hunting Wabbits. But why was that there? Like, it was completely unnecessary. He apologized, and that's how we're even here today, right? So I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But coming in at number 6, I am going to put Friday Night Lights. Yes. 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 This, for me, yes. Again, like I mentioned, there was Born Center, there was Sideline Story, and then there was Friday Night Lights. This just holds a special place in my heart personally, and I'm just not going to let y'all just dictate me away from it. I don't care. I have nothing to explain to you and why it's at number 6, but it's here. It is here. But getting into the top 5, though, because I think this is now where the debates are really going to come in. At number 5, yep, it's 5. This is a top 5 J. Cole project of all time. Comfortably saying this is a top 5 J. Cole project of all time. Could it move up higher? Maybe. But for right now, this is the top 5 J. Cole project of all time. I think, again, my biggest problem with it is that the story could have been way more concise if it was 16 songs. 16 or 17 songs. I thought that it felt like a lot of different things, and he drew a lot of different inspiration from other artists like Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying, like Nas, like Eminem, and you know, not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, right? I think the last two are not necessarily bad things, but I think the Kendrick Lamar thing is kind of a little considering the fact that people have a narrative, including me, that you kind of copy Kendrick a little bit. So it's just like seeing how you structured the album, you know, seeing certain songs and how they lined up, certain themes, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just, you know, every rapper at some point gets to that point in time where they have to talk about that, right? And I'm willing to concede that argument, but you can't convince me that he didn't look at Miss Around the Big Steppers and then was like, that's how I need to do the fall off. I don't care that he was working on it for 15 years. Dog, some of these songs were made last year. Some of these songs are made in 2024. Actually, I would damn near say 75% of this album was finished in 2025 or in late 2024. But you can't convince me of that, bro. A lot of these songs are way. You want to tell me right now that he had a Thames and Future song in 2015 or in 2014? No, you're lying. Like, you're just lying. Like, I don't want to hear that. You feel me? He didn't have an Alchemist beat in 2014. I don't want to hear that. So, yeah, dog. But at the end of the day, though, it is a good project. There are really, really strong tracks on it. Really, really strong tracks on it. I've been bumping Old Days or Old Dog for like In the Villas, The Let Out, like, you know, Poor Thing. I just been replaying them songs specifically for like the past like 2.5 weeks. Like I really, really, really love the songs that I really, really like on here. And again, 16 out of 24 songs, that's not bad for a project. If this was a test, it's like a C. But for a project, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it has to be at number 4, bare minimum. Has to be at number 4. This is where it gets tricky, though. This is where it gets tricky. Because at number 4, I'm going with Born Center. Dog, this was my one. Born Center was my one, y'all. Dog, you couldn't get me away from this project when I first got introduced to Cole, bro. Like, yo, I'm just reading the track list again, bro. Like, dog, Ville Illuminati, Power Trip, Trouble, Runaway, She Knows, Rich Niggas, Forbidden Fruit, like, dog, Crooked Smile, you know what I'm saying? Born Center, the title track with James Fauntleroy, like, dog, this album not only was the first real mainstream album for J. Cole, but this is the project where I was like, this is my guy. This is my guy, bro. And I was still getting acclimated to Kendrick Lamar. Drake was there, Wayne was there, M was there, Ye was there, right? But I was like, it's something about this guy right here that him and Wale for me were just the two guys out of that, you know, out of that era of hip hop in that run for me. That was just like, these are the two. These are the two, dog, right? And then Kendrick obviously slid in there. Pause. But Born Center holds a lot of sentimental value to me because, like I keep saying, this is my first real J. Cole project. So while I can't really debate that it is a top 3 J. Cole album, right? I absolutely love most of the tracks on here. Some of the tracks, but most of the tracks on here, I absolutely love. Now, here is something that I had to come to grips with. Ladies and gentlemen, if you asked me this question 4 years ago, this was not a year. But number 3, I have For Your Eyes Only. I don't know. I had, the inspiration for this video, I was talking with a couple of my homeboys as I was getting a haircut, right? We were just debating J. Cole albums, right? And I was like, For Your Eyes Only, it was kind of wild. And then he just started going through the track list, and I was like, wait a minute, hold on. What? Did I like that project more than I think? Right? Think about it this way, y'all. This project is 10 songs. There's Immortal, there's Deja Vu, there's Ville Mentality, there's Change, there's Neighbors, then there's Folding Clothes, then there's She's Mine Part 2, and you could throw in Part 1, and then the title track at the end. Like, I understand that this album gets crapped on a lot, and like internet propaganda leads you to believe that this is J. Cole's most boring album of all time, because it is more low-key, more down-tempo, more mellow, right? So if you were already a J. Cole hater at this time, you absolutely hate this project. And so that propaganda was so loud and it surrounded this album. But at the time, I never really realized how much I loved this album. And going back, I'm like, dog, this is the top 3 Cole project ever. Ever. 10 songs. And for me, 9 out of 10 are fire. They just fire. Absolute heat. And I had to take that into consideration. I love Born Sinner so much. But going back, this definitely is a time capsule of me and my growing stage and really, really loving hip hop, right? This is peak high school, really falling in love with everything that has to do with hip hop, right? And like I said, J. Cole was always my guy. But bro, it's fine. It's like that. It's really, really like that. It's really, really like that. But it isn't number 2, because number 2, I don't give a flying fadoodle what any of y'all say. I don't care. The Off Season is J. Cole's second best project of all time. It's not debatable. Because in my opinion, there's a clear top 2. There is a clear 1 and 2. And this is number 2, and it's not debatable to me. I want y'all to go look at that track list. In fact, I'll read it for you. Let's take a trip back to 2021, ladies and gentlemen, where he just dropped this for no reason at all. For no reason at all. He just dropped this. You have the opening track, 95 South with Cameron. Fire. Amari. Fire. My Life. You gonna lie to me and say that's not fire? Come on. Applying Pressure. One of his best beats he's ever made. Period. Fire. Punching the Clock. Cool. It's cool. I like it personally, but I can see if you're like, Punching the Clock, not for me. But then he has 100 mil. Right at 100 mil. Oh, and let's not forget, Pride is the Devil with Lil Baby. Prime Lil Baby. You got a Prime Lil Baby verse. Come on, dog. Then you got Interlude, Decline Back, Close, and then Hunger on the Hillside to end the album. One of his best outro to date. Hunger on the Hillside. Stop it, y'all. Y'all need to stop. Fam, the off season doesn't get enough respect because it doesn't fit the necessary storyline of what J. Cole was talking about. It was a surprise album. People don't even consider it an album. They consider it like a weird mixtape. This was Cole at his best rapping ability. This right here is the peak of J. Cole at his rapping ability. Not song make, but best rapping ability. Rapping for an hour straight or 40 minutes straight or whatever it is, dog. 12 songs of pure heat. It is 12 songs of mastered art of rapping, bro. I don't care what any of y'all say, bro. 2021 J. Cole for me is like 2018 LeBron. That might be the greatest rapper I've ever seen. That might be the greatest rapper I've ever seen. From his freestyles, from his feature verses, from this project alone, 2021 J. Cole might be the greatest 1 year of a rapper ever in terms of rapping ability, period, bro. Not in terms of sales, not in terms of anything else numerical, right? In just terms of rapping, period. Y'all point me to a year where a rapper was out rapping this nigga in 2021. You're not gonna find it. I don't care if you pull up 98 Hove or 98 DMX or 2001 50 Cent or '05 Kanye. I don't want to hear none of these years, bro. Pure raps, pure bars, bro. It is this nigga right here, and it's not even close, bro. It's not close in my opinion, bro. I don't care if I sound like a 24-year-old. I sound younger shit saying that. That nigga right there in 2021 on the off season, it's just exceptional. It's just exceptional. It absolutely is exceptional. But let's get to the final album, because we all know what it is. Like, it was one of the first vinyls that I've ever purchased. Yeah, we don't. Certain things are just self-explanatory, you know. I don't gotta tell you why this is the GOAT, right? Honestly, if I really wanted to make a hot take, I would say the Offseason is the best album ever, but I'm not willing to do that, right? But the thing about why I just to go back to the Offseason a little bit, the reason why I love the Offseason so much is the same reason why I love GNX so much. It feels like a total diversion of whatever caricature or persona or story that you're trying to tell as an artist. It feels so different, so lively. You're just having fun. I love to see greats just not stick to a whole storyline and just go have fun. That's why GNX for me is arguably a top 3 Kendrick album ever, because you're just out there just having fun. The All Season, he was just out there having fun, dog. It was a side quest, but it was a side quest that I just absolutely, you know how you can play in a video game and you're doing like the main storyline, but you just happen to fall into a side quest and you realize, man, this is like better than 90% of the game I played so far. Like, you just ever had that, bro? Like, that's what the off season was for me. That's what GNX was for me. But 2014 Forest Hills Drive is just the Christian. It is the one. Sure, it might look like a Good Kid, Mad City ripoff. I don't fucking care. I don't care, bro. I got both of them albums on my wall. I don't care, bro. Like, we know the level of heart. This is so much just like, even like if I just try to disconnect my nostalgia, dog. January 28th, Wet Dreams, '03 Adolescence, A Tale of Two Cities, Fire Squad, Saint Tropez, Get Off My Dick, No Role Models, Hello, Apparently, Love Yours, and the last track, Note to Self, which is a 15-minute song that I would never listen to. But like, that's where the Good Kid, Mad City thing kind of comes in, of like, Logic did this as well with Under Pressure. You know what I'm saying? The super long introspective multiple, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's so good. It's so good. That album is a collection of the best J. Cole songs ever. That's the best way I could put it. That album is the best collection of J. Cole songs in terms of just not only rapping, right? Not only production, but story and the depth it's so much. And sure, Wet Dreams is a lot of people do hate that song, but for me, right, I absolutely love it. I'm sorry, I just absolutely love it, dog. I get it. Like, as a grown man, it's kind of corny, but I don't care, dog. Like, it just adds a certain charm, you know. Get Off My Dick, it may seem corny to some people, but it just adds a certain charm. And for me, bro, like, that is the J. Cole project. That is when I got introduced to Cole in 2013, in 2014 Forest Hills Drive came out. That was like, yes, it's just everything, bro. I can remember days of just on the radio, you hear nothing but J. Cole. I can remember days I got my tablet and I'm just blasting J. Cole, right? 2014 Forest Hills Drive. You know what I'm saying? On my tablet in art class when we're not doing no work. We just, It just personally, this album means a whole lot more to me than most of these other projects, other than Born Sinner. But this project right here, I think everybody can agree is his best. But I'm not gonna be mad at you if you're one of those people that think All Seasons is best either, right? To me, those are 1, 2, For Your Eyes Only, Born Sinner, The Fall Off, Friday Night Lights, Might Delete Later, Sideline Story, KOD, which I'm sorry, don't care. That album has aged horrendously to me. Birthday Blizzard, The Warm Up, and The Come Up is your list. Y'all let me know where y'all would rank J. Cole albums personally in the comment section below. I want to see the entire ranking. Show me the money. Show me the entire money. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know in the comment section below. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It's been your boy Josh Shiro. We out.